I know that one of the African countries that people want to migrate to is Kenya. And if you want to live in Kenya and work in Kenya, a tourist visa is not going to give you that opportunity. Let's talk about the different Kenya visas that exist. Before we begin, what are the general requirements for a Kenya visa? 2 recent passport photograph, an official visa application form, a copy of your flight itinerary, or proof of travel. Any other additional paperwork is needed, which could be an invitation from your future employer or a marriage certificate, copy of international passport. To be able to live and work in Kenya, you need one of the work residence visa, and these visas are meant for people who may need to spend more than 6 months in Kenya, either to work, volunteer, or live there. There are different types of work visas in Kenya, especially if you're staying for more than 90 days. If you're staying for less than 90 days and you're going to do business activities, then you should get a business visa. A business visa is valid for a period of 90 days and can be extended for another 90 days. Now, if you're an expat who is in Kenya for a short duration of time, then you should swing for the business visa. The business visa allows you to attend workshops, seminars, discussions, and conferences, but you cannot work on a business visa. If you'll be spending more than 6 months in Kenya and you'll be working or living, then you will need to apply for a work residence visa. It can take up to 3 months for a work visa to be processed, and the work visa is usually valid for 2 years. You have the option to renew for another 2. Now, because there are different Kenya visas, you will need to figure out which work visa meets your need. Let's talk about the different types of Kenya work visa. To begin with, we have the Class A Kenya work visa. This type of visa is meant for people in prospecting and mining industry. The requirements for this Class A visa includes a copy of your international passport, 2 recent colored passport photo, a signed cover letter from employer or organization, self, that is addressed to the Director General of Immigration Services. You also need a valid organization tax compliance certificate, your license to prospect for mineral mine. You'll also be needing proof of funds for investments over at least $100,000, your current license and copy of PIN certificate, signed audited accounts for the last year, your current immigration status if you're in the country, and your filled and signed application form 25. The processing fee for a Class A work visa is non-refundable, and it is 10,000 Kenyan shillings, and the issuance costs 100,000 Kenyan shillings per year. Next is the Class B Kenya work visa. The work visa is meant for people in agriculture and animal husbandry. Requirement for the Class B work visa includes copy of your international passport, 2 recent passport photos, proof of land ownership, leasehold, proof of funds of at least $100,000, your clearance license from relevant bodies. The processing fee for a Class B Kenya work visa is a non-refundable 10,000 Kenyan shillings, and the issuance costs 100,000 Kenyan shillings per year. Moving on to the Class C Kenya work visa. This work visa is meant for prescribed professionals. These are lawyers, architects, medical professionals, accountants, and engineers. You are most likely to require a Class C work visa if your profession requires you to register with a regulatory body or institution. The requirement for the Class C Kenya work visa includes your filled and signed application form 25, a copy of your international passport, a signed cover letter from your employer organization, self, that is addressed to the Director General of Immigration Services, 2 recent passport photos of you, your valid organization tax compliance certificate, your proof of membership to your prescribed profession, copies of your certified academic and professional qualifications, a copy of your PIN certificate. As with the other visa, the processing fee is a non-refundable 10,000 Kenyan shillings, and the issuance costs 100,000 Kenyan shillings per year. We have the Class D Kenya work visa. This work visa is for professionals, and it's often referred to as an employment permit. This work visa is usually for specific job offers with specific employers, which could include experts coming to Kenya on intercompany transfers and NGO humanitarian workers. The visa paperwork is usually submitted by the employer. Now, for the Class D work visa, people applying for it must have qualifications and skills that are not available in Kenya. Some of the requirements include your certificate of academic and professional certificate, your curriculum vitae, filled and signed form 27, the name of your Kenya understudy, academic certificates and complete contact of your understudy, CV of your understudy, organization certificate of registration, letter of clearance from relevant institution. The processing fee for a Class D work visa is a non-refundable 10,000 Kenya shillings, and the issuance costs 200,000 Kenya shillings per year. So let's talk about the Class F work visa. This work visa is meant for specific manufacturing. It is intended for people who want to engage in specific manufacturing activities. The requirements include a copy of your license, proof of funds for investing, at least $100,000, company certificate of registration, memorandum of understanding, articles of association, your current audited account, your shareholder certificate, a copy of PIN certificate. The processing fee for the Class F is usually a non-refundable 10,000 Kenya shillings, and the issuance will cost you 100,000 Kenya shillings per year. We also have the Class G Kenya work visa. This one is meant for specific trade businesses or consultancy. This includes entrepreneurs who want to launch a company or invest. Requirement for this visa includes proof of funds, at least $100,000, company certificates of incorporation, articles of association, MOU, signed current audited accounts, Form 27, a copy of your PIN certificate. The processing fee for the Class G is usually a non-refundable 10,000 Kenya shillings, and also the issuance will cost about 100,000 Kenya shillings per year. Next, we have the Class I Kenya work visa. This one is usually meant for approved religious or charitable activities. Some of the requirements include a copy of your international passport, 2 passport photographs, a valid organization tax compliance certificate, organization's registration certificate, signed cover letter from employer, copies of your professional and academic certificates, Form 25. The processing fee for this visa is usually a non-refundable 1,000 Kenya shillings, and the issuance cost 5,000 Kenya shillings per year. We also have the Class K work visa. This one is meant for ordinary residents. The requirements for a Class K work visa includes a copy of your international passport, 2 passport photographs, a valid organization tax compliance certificate, your signed cover letter from employer, self-organization addressed to the Director General of Immigration Services, proof of funds of an annual income of at least $24,000, Form 25. The processing fee for the visa is usually a non-refundable 10,000 Kenya shillings, and the issuance also costs 100,000 Kenya shillings per year.